Hey everyone, Professor Long here. Listen, the reason I'm doing this video right now is because I've been getting numerous emails from students, people that are stressing out, freaking out, worried about the bones test in part 1 A&P, or worried about the wireman in part 2 A&P. Look, we're about to be at the midterm. You have 6 lecture tests in either part 1 or part 2. This is your third one, so you're about 50% done. There's 4 lab tests. We've already knocked out 2. The second one is about to be done. So we're literally at the midterm of the semester. And people come in fresh every semester with this, their schedule's cleared out, everything's worked out for the first few weeks. They've got all that, excitement and energy and ready to take this task on. And you got your work schedule worked out, your kid's schedule or whatever. You take a test or two, and then things start popping up that you don't anticipate. People get sick, or your boss changes the schedule, or whatever. And then you start running short on time. The other aspects of life that you had kind of cleared out start creeping in. And so people start panicking. In addition, when it comes to A&P 1, the bones test is one of the harder lab tests. I mean, there's just a lot of information, and there's only one way to learn it. There's only one thing to do, and that's memorize the bones. And it's a lot of stuff, and people feel like they can't retain all that information. But you can. I did it. Plenty of other students have done it. Some who may not be as intelligent, and say book smart, or some who may not be as confident or have the memory that you have, and they've done it. So if they can do it, you can do it. Okay, if one person's done it, that means other people can do it too. Now, in addition to all these other things starting to pop up and the bones test being hard, in part 2 A&P, lab test 2 is a tough one because of wireman and people freak out. And I think it's a little tougher online than it is in person because it's really hard to make out all those little details in the wireman. But what you got to realize is, look, people have been doing it. People have done it before you. You can do it too. So what starts to creep in is fear and some anxiety. And there's a lot of psychology to being a student, particularly in A&P and particularly the health sciences or the sciences in general. And so some things popped up. We had spring break. We had a number of things occur where your time to study may have shortened. And so people start to panic and freak out and get anxiety, and I'm getting emails, should I drop? Should I do this? Should I do that? What you have to do is you have to stop yourself in the middle of the storm and refocus, get re-energized, reorganized, take a deep breath, and then push forward. Now, there's a number of reasons that we do this. I'm going to write something on the board here, but essentially, your energy levels start off kind of high and you start to pick up, but then we reach kind of a lull in the semester as far as energy and things. And this is where we're at. We're in the middle. It's kind of like the middle of the game. Teams come out, they score real fast, the energy's going, the defense is going. And then you hit sort of that lull where the adrenaline lowers. Things start to pop up. And everything quits going the way that you had anticipated, and then it's real easy to give up, it's real easy to quit, it's real easy to get frustrated or fearful. You got to fight the fear and the anxiety. You got to talk yourself through this. It's kind of like talking yourself through any difficult thing that you've done in life. All of us have done it. All of us have talked to ourselves in a difficult process like, hey, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. Lean on your family, lean on your friends, lean on your classmates, lean on your SI leaders, whatever you got to do. Shoot me an email. We can have a Zoom meeting or whatever. But you guys, I don't want you to let the fear and the anxiety get to you to the point to where you can't think and you start having that sort of fatalistic or the failure mentality starts creeping in. Oh, I'm going to fail. I'm not going to do this and I need to quit, especially if your grades are good. If you have a 75 average or higher, you really should not be thinking about dropping or quitting and worrying about creating scenarios for you not to be successful. Don't sabotage yourself. Again, there's a lot of psychology that goes on in this, and I see it every semester with my students, and it's normal. You're normal. You're an average, person with all the normal thoughts and feelings and emotions that everyone goes through. I know I've mentioned her before. There's an author named Brené Brown. It's like the name Renee, but starts with a B. And she's written a number of books, and one of them is I Used to Think It Was Just Me, but it isn't. I actually haven't read the book, but I am currently in the middle of reading one called Daring Greatly. And in all of her books, she talks about these things in life, about how what makes each one of us so perfect is our imperfections. So I don't expect you to be perfect. What I expect is the hard effort and the hard work and the attitude and the grit to succeed. You have the brain. You just need to fight that psychology. You need to fight the fear. You need to fight the anxiety and fight that idea that, well, maybe this isn't for me. I can't do this. You can do it. Just don't give in. Don't give in to that. Stop yourself. Put your books down. Take a walk in nature. It's amazing to me how many people don't realize that getting outside without a cell phone, without a computer, just getting outside in fresh air and sunshine and going for a walk on the bayfront, walking on the beach, go out to the Oso Nature Reserve and take a walk, walk down Oso Parkway, get out, get some sunshine, drive over the bridge and drive back, drive out to Rockport and take the ferry ride and drive back. Take an hour to get in nature, put your books down, sit and contemplate life, where you've been, what you've been through, where you're at, and where you probably should be somewhere else, considering the obstacles that you face. And yet here you are, you're in a college classroom, you're being successful. I mean, just being in college is a success, okay? And you've already overcome the fear of enrolling and all of that confusion. So, if you think about this, about 6 months to a year ago, you would have given anything to be where you're at right now. To be in college, classes paid for, studying, working towards goals in your future. If you quit now, you're going to go right back to where you were. And there's other people who would give anything to be where you're at. You fought so hard to get here. Don't quit now. Don't give up. Okay? Now, if your grades are in the 50 to 75 range, maybe some doubt should be creeping in and you should start worrying, but then you got to turn that into, how do I make this a motivating factor rather than a fatalistic factor? Your grades are not an indictment on your intellect. They are not. Sometimes you come into a class, you don't know what to expect, you don't do as hot as you'd like to do, and you think, okay, well, I'm not smart, I need to change majors. Do not do that, okay? You have to fight through this. You have to fight that desire to quit and check out. And if I drop, then maybe I won't be a failure. Well, don't do that to yourself. Don't sabotage yourself. Keep pushing. Now, there are some people in that grade range that may not make it to the end as well as they'd like to and may have to come back and repeat the course. Statistically, almost 40% of the students that are in an AMP1 class are repeating it. They either failed or dropped the first time. They made a D, an F, or got a W. So if you look around when we're in a face-to-face classroom, 40% of the class is probably taking this for the second time. That's why they seem so comfortable and they know what to do and they know how to study and they got all their stuff organized. For those of you taking it the first time, there's a lot of figure this out stuff, like how do I study, how do I organize? Learning to be a student is a process. It is a learned skill and you're learning it. All the while taking a very difficult course. So, again, some of y'all may not make it to the end this semester in the way that you want, and I may recommend that you repeat this class. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You'd be surprised at how many nursing faculty or faculty when I was in the the surgical tech program, how many people talk about how horribly they did in AMP, at least the first time, and they had to repeat it. And one of my neighbors is a nurse, and she told me point blank, yeah, the first time I took AMP, I flunked that course badly, and this is a person teaching in a program. But they, you figure it out. Things get in the way, and the psychology gets to you to where you start to shut down, and you got to stop yourself. You got to put your books down. You got to give yourself the pep talk, go for the walk, take a hot bath, go do something relaxing, hug your children, hang out with your spouse or your significant other for a little while, Do something to take your mind off it, and then come back fresh. You know, one of the things I do is I play guitar. It's my passion. I try to play every single day if I can. But there are sometimes I feel like I'm stuck in a rut, or sometimes I don't pick up a guitar for 4 or 5 days, and then I go back and pick it up, and things come out, and I play more beautifully than I've played in a long time. And sometimes you need to step back. If you think I got to study all the time, you burn out. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, or Jill a dull girl. Okay. So whatever it is that you need to do, take a step back, get your focus, catch your breath, and then push on through for the next test. Get your energy back. If you watch football, when a player does this on their helmet, they're telling the sideline, I need to come out. Take me out for a play or two. A receiver runs 2 or 3 long routes and is gassed. A running back's been running the ball too much. They do this. They put a sub in. They go to the sideline. They catch a drink, take their helmet off, catch their breath, and then they go back in and attack. Everybody needs a little bit of a break. Everybody needs to catch their breath. Everybody needs to refocus and get rejuvenated. So if you're stressing about these tests, do that. Take a little time. Know that, hey, listen, I got 1 drop test in lecture, so if I bomb this test, so what? I already got an 85. That one would be dropped, and I still got a B, or I still got an A. Or I'm still right there on the edge of doing what I need to do, and I'm getting better at this student thing, and I'm getting better at this A&P thing. So keep working, keep pushing, don't give in, don't freak out, don't give in to your fears and anxieties. Just do the best that you can, and let the chips fall where they may. And then whatever happens, happens. You can overcome this. You can overcome that setback if it's a setback. So do the best you can on this exam. And then if your grade's not where you want it to be, shoot me an email and I'll be happy to meet with you. I can do it in small groups. So I can set up a meeting for a group, or I can do a one-on-one Zoom meeting, and we can talk about how you can be successful this semester or next semester. So I hope that you guys realize that I'm in your corner, that I want you to be successful, that I know you can be successful, all of you. Some of y'all aren't doing the right things and you know it, so fix it. Quit doing the things that don't lead to success. Quit putting off studying. If you know you got a test, you need to start studying well in advance, because this happens every semester. Hey, Mr. Long, I was going to study, but I had this going on and I had that going on, and I did all this other stuff. So right at the last minute I was going to study, and my daughter broke her arm, and I spent the night at Driscoll Hospital waiting for a room. Well, you got to study every day. Don't put it off. Oh, I got a lot of time. No, you don't. You never know what could pop up. So stay on top of it. Work hard. Take little breaks here or there when you need it, but not too long. But you do got to refresh. Every day, go for a 15, 20, 30-minute walk. Get out in nature. Put your cell phone down. Get out of the 4 walls. And refresh your brain before you attack. And you would be surprised at how much of a difference it can make. Anyway, listen, I've been repeating myself and starting to ramble, and I don't intend to do that. But I don't have a script for these things. But I do know that a lot of people are starting to stress and freak out. In Part 1 A&P and Part 2, Lecture Test 3 and Lab Test 2 are due, if not now, in the next few days. So, don't stress yourself out. And if you catch yourself stressing, de-stress somehow. Do something that takes your stress away. And again, get outside, get some sunshine and some fresh air, get some exercise, come back to this, and you'll be surprised. You may shock yourself and do way better than you thought, okay? Anyway, keep studying, work hard every day. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. I love doing this stuff. I love teaching, and I love interacting with my students, and I love trying to help you be successful. I love talking about A&P. So keep working hard, keep doing the right thing, keep your nose to the grindstone, take a break every now and then get back to it. Work hard every single day. Hard work pays off. I know it because I've lived it. And whenever that cloudiness starts coming into your brain, like stress and anxiety and fear and failure and doubt, talk yourself through it. Shoot me an email. Watch this video. Find some kind of motivational speaker. And I bet if you looked up on YouTube motivational speaking or motivational speech on school or college, or you'll find tons of them. Watch a lecture by Brene Brown. She's amazing. And get your motivation on so that you can push through this stuff, okay? Again, this is all psychology, and it's all the mental game in our head that happens when we do anything that challenges us. But it's challenge that makes you stronger, makes you better, emotionally, psychologically, physically, whatever it is. Because one day you're going to be facing a situation on the floor, you're going to be stressed out, and you can go, you know what, I got this. If I made it through that, this is no hill for a climber, and I'm a climber. All right? Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. All right? Keep at it, guys. Don't give up. And gals and everything in between. All right? See you later.